Okay, hi, good morning. We've been working on our lives here at Reach Out Recovery, both through our YouTube, our Facebook, and now our Instagram. So today, what we are going to be doing is some live stream ideas for Labor Day. So, hi, I'm Lindsay Glass, and we are going to address the trending issues in mental health and recovery for Labor Day weekend. I'm also going to give some tips for living with someone who may be an active user, or if you have a narcissist or any kind of difficult personality around you or in the house this weekend. Because what we really want is to have a happy and peaceful Labor Day weekend. So, also at the end, I am going to do a short meditation. So, if you leave, come back or stick around for it, because setting ourselves up for success is always about getting grounded as we go into a weekend like that. And don't forget, as always, please like these videos, subscribe to our channels, and follow us, because we do all of this for your health and wellness. Okay, so when I do all this research, I am working with programs that tell me what is trending specifically for our audience in mental health, in recovery, in relationship issues, and this is what's coming up right now. People are really talking about digital detoxes and anxiety. So this weekend, we are recommending a holiday-ready reset. So what does that entail, and what does it all mean? So Labor Day weekend often means more screen time. That means more social pressures, more potential triggers. It means you're going to be seeing what everybody else is doing. You're going to be worrying about it. And it can be incredibly distracting to your own ability to stay present in what you're doing, parent your children, focus on your recovery, or whatever else like really should be your priority this weekend. Um, so remember, this digital dependence that we all have, and I have it too. I'm very guilty of it. And I'm just know that everything I recommend on here, I am doing as well. But research absolutely has shown that excessive digital use correlates with anxiety and behavioral addiction concerns. So the challenge we are recommending is, can you do a screen-free day? Now, the recommendation is 72 hours. I couldn't possibly do it. I don't know if you could do it. And certainly if you are in charge of other humans or anything else, you need your phone for safety reasons. But can you not look at the apps that you don't need to be looking at, or keep your phone down for 24 hours? I'm going to try and do it. I will let you know how it goes. But there are a lot of habits that they recommend for people that should help. So just to give you a few of them, you're really supposed to bookend these things, which means you pick a time to start and stop. You don't just like assume it's going to go well. You put it down at a certain hour and you don't pick it up again until you've agreed to pick it up. And pick hours that are going to be easier for you. Don't pick hours that are going to be really tough. Put it down in the evening, and when you're not going to need it again until the morning. Those are the easiest times to start. In this downtime, find other activities. There's nothing worse than sitting there and not knowing what to do with yourself. So make a plan for that time. We're always going to recommend things like journaling and recovery work. But if that isn't your thing, do some yoga. Um, Cook, take some actions that really draw you out of wanting to look at that phone. And remember, the mindful mantra is, I put my phone to bed so I can wake myself up. And I really actually like that, because we get so, for me, I'll talk about it as feeling really dulled by looking at these phones all day. And, I don't know if anyone's ever made the joke, but like, you kind of feel dead inside after a while. Or for me, looking at all this stuff causes a lot of anxiety. So put your phone down to wake up your best self. Okay, remember that you are swapping scrolls for your senses. So use your senses. Again, we talk about like feeling dead or feeling really disillusioned with this world sometimes. Well, pay attention to what's going on around you. Use the things that your body is supposed to be using. Notice 5 things that you see. Listen for subtle sounds. Take deep breaths. smell what's around you. These sound simple, but that's what actually being mindful is all about. So I'm outside here in Florida. I did it on purpose. Hopefully the gardeners won't come and destroy our Zen here. But the whole point is I can hear the water, I can see the birds, I can see the trees, and it is a very peaceful way to start the day. So always, if you're struggling with certain apps, curate your home screen, curate your phone. If it's bothering you, take it off. If you can't stop scrolling, take those apps off your phone and just look at them when you're at home on your computer or your pad or whatever else you have. Set reminders on your phone. Use those meditation apps or any kind of apps that are healthier. Put those front and center and put the bad apps, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And really what we're trying to do is shift our muscle memory towards intention and away from distraction. So the next thing that is a big recommendation is micro meditations. So instead of 30 minutes on your favorite app, try 2 minutes in some kind of a reset. Close your eyes, inhale. We're going to do a little quick meditation at the end of this, so I'll give you a really easy one. And always remember to picture your thoughts as notifications going by. You don't have to click them all. Okay, the other thing you can do, especially if you have little humans around you, my brother has 3 little humans that love their screens, and honestly, it can turn into a throwdown over these screens, especially on the weekends. So plan for tech-free zones. That means keep the dining table, the bedroom, or even the bathroom if it needs to be phone free. So these will all also help with your other habits. If you're having trouble sleeping, you don't want that phone in your bedroom. If you're having trouble connecting with your family, your partner, any loved ones, you don't want that phone at the dinner table. I now in Florida live near some family members, and I have been told several times that I am not allowed to have my phone at the dinner table because it's distracting for them for me to look at my phone. So we want to remember this is not just about us, but also respecting the other people around us. The other thing is I love having buddies. I have buddies for everything. I've been in recovery since I was 21 years old, on and off. I have buddies in my recovery programs. I have buddies in my work programs. I have buddies in my financial efforts. Sometimes I need a buddy just to make sure I call and make a doctor's appointment. So pick a family member or a friend who will do a little digital detox with you, and then you'll have something to do with somebody. You can check on each other, and you can certainly talk about what you're going through, which might be helpful. The other thing is, so one of the books that really, really helped me so much when I was doing positive psychology and really trying to change from being somebody who really worried a lot to somebody who kind of lived in a more joyful state, if you want to say. It was a book called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker. And he has a lot of activities that he asks you to do. And he asks you to do them, I can't remember if it's 30, 60, 90 days. But he does a lot around gratitude and getting into the habit, these gratitude lists, finding something that you're looking forward to. If you write down every single day something that you're looking forward to, something that you're grateful for, and something good that happened in your day, this will create muscle memory and you will start thinking in more positive ways. Okay, next on the list, relapse prevention. This is really, really important. If you are a person in our community that is in any kind of recovery from anything, we all know that holiday weekends can be incredibly triggering. Seeing people behaving in ways that we can't behave, or even if it's just online, it can be it can kind of ignite those demons and fires in a way that nothing else can. So let's just be honest and say that holiday weekends are a big trigger. So we want to really look to our toolbox. So for those of us who have been in recovery for a while, these may be old tools, but remember to take them out. And if you're new to recovery, these are things to really look into, to practice, and to make a way of life. So you always want to be checking in with yourself about how you're feeling. And it's HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, but it really goes beyond that. Am I anxious? Am I frightened? Are there things going on with me right now that I really need to pay attention to that will, affect me emotionally? So 90% of cravings happen and are intensified when one of these needs are unmet. So really think about that. When you are feeling any one of these intense emotions, you have a 90% increase of having your cravings intensify. So it sounds silly, but making sure that your body is not feeling anxiety, fear, hunger, loneliness really will sustain recovery. So next is the delay, the pause and delay. So cravings really only last 15 minutes if you time them. So the goal is always to remember that this will pass. So I really just next need to get through these series of minutes, and what can you do in that time? A grounding practice, deep breathing, a walk, listen to music, and it will pass. We know that. It's scientific. And you can also ground yourself in those moments. Put your feet on the ground, count back from 5. Name 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and something you can taste. So it will interrupt obsessive thinking and it will keep you present. Okay. Beyond all of those things, if you are really in trouble, you need a crisis contact list. That means you need a couple of people who you can call, phone numbers either in your phone or ready to go, whether they are a friend, a sponsor, a hotline, a trusted member of the family or community. But make sure you have somebody you can call if you are really struggling. This is a disease of isolation. We often tend to get into trouble when we are on our own and we don't have somebody to talk to. Replacement rituals. We are really big on this around the holidays. So Labor Day is exactly the same. If you're used to having certain kinds of drinks, find yourself some drinks that you might enjoy that are non boozy. If you generally reach for something, which I can't use these words on our channel, you need to reach for something else. But you really need to be prepared to have activities and to do things when you would normally be engaging in behaviors that are unhealthy, because rituals really satisfy your brain's craving for routine and comfort. So, start playing pickleball, I don't know, get a croquet set, but get into some habit of doing something else. And if it's something that can raise endorphins or help calm your brain, that will help you a lot more as well. Okay. Escape plan card. If you are somewhere where you feel unsafe, you need a step-by-step exit from high risk situations. So make sure that if you're at a barbecue, if you're at a party, if you're at a wedding, if you're anywhere where you start to feel scared, you have a rehearsed script you can use to get out of there, and you have a way to leave, whether it's an Uber or your own car or whatever else it is. Okay. You really want to remember in these moments that you can always reset your body. Again, I was talking about raising your endorphins, but try doing a couple push-ups, try putting cold water on your face, try taking a cold shower, a hot shower. There are a lot of things you can do that will kind of shock your body out of the desire to want to do something bad and put you into a place where you want to do something better. So remember that physical reset will lead to a mental reset. I'm a big believer in, they say you have to do this for yourself. I believe that. I also believe we do this for the people we love and the animals we love and the things that we love. So if you need a visual reminder or a note that reminds you why you chose recovery, now is the time to keep it close and pull it out when you're feeling tempted. And then absolutely stay away from the people, places, and things that are going to tempt you. If you are dreading going to something, that is a reason not to go. So take it really seriously what your intuition tells you. And if you feel like you're going to be unsafe or uncomfortable somewhere, absolutely make the decision to put your recovery and your safety first. And then beyond the metaphorical recovery toolkit, you can have a physical recovery toolkit. That means in your bag or your backpack or whatever you have with you, carry with you the things that you need to feel better. Mints, candy, a recovery book, essential oils. Keep your headphones close so you can listen to something, calming music, a meditation, whatever it is. You want to grab your recovery toolkit bag, not the other kind of bag. Okay, for my women out there, we are working on a women in the workplace, recognizing burnout and stress. I'm not going to get into it today, but for my women in the workplace, I want you to pay attention to what's going on today and in your life and realize if you know the symptoms of burnout, because it's something we're going to be talking about a lot more. Okay. Next, we have some tips for handling somebody who is in active addiction or a difficult personality at home. So, this is the toughest thing, right? You have a holiday, you have a party, you have something coming up, and you can pretty much guarantee, like clockwork, that your difficult personality might do something to ruin your good time and other people's good time. So, what are you going to do? Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find ways to protect your peace. You can't control their drinking, their using, or their toxic behaviors, but you can control how much of your energy they drain. So you have to give yourself permission at any time to step away, to breathe, and to reset when needed. The next thing you have to do is set really clear boundaries and hope that they follow them. And if they don't, that's another story. But you need to be really clear. I'm not going to argue with you if you have been doing something that impairs you. If you start yelling at me, I am not going to engage with you. Boundaries are about what you will do, not about changing them. But, you can't change them, but you can control how you are. So the next thing is you really need to avoid power struggles because this is their favorite thing. Power struggles. Am I going to get what I want? Am I going to put you in your place? So these are people who often thrive on conflict and attention, and you really don't want to get baited. So avoid the bait. If you feel yourself getting upset, just stop, walk away. You do not need to debate, you do not need to defend, and you do not need to explain endlessly. A simple, I am not engaging right now is going to be plenty and send them on their way. Again, have an exit strategy. Know where you can go, know where you can walk, know if you have a friend's house, even if you have a car, have a way to get away from anyone who is making you feel unsafe or anything else. Um, it's generally a good idea to have some neutral topics handy. So if you need to shift the conversation, you can. Remember to always prioritize your kids and vulnerable family members. If there are children in the house, your job is to reassure them and keep routines consistent. Sometimes explaining the simple boundaries, like we don't yell at dinner, helps protect them too. So it's really helpful if you can have support on standby. If you are in a recovery program, if you are in Al Anon or anyone you can vent to in real time, that will be really, really helpful. We're always going to tell you, focus on your self-care, build in mini resets, anything you can do for yourself to keep grounding yourself throughout this weekend, throughout these tough moments, and remember that this is not forever. This is just the weekend. Okay, I'm going to go into our end here because there is some noise on our end and I'm hoping we're going to be able to get through it. But now what we're going to do is a short meditation because the best way we can take care of ourselves is to calm down and stay grounded. So before we head into Labor Day weekend, when stress, family, and even just the pace of life can crank up our anxiety, I want to pause and give us all a moment of calm. This is just a few minutes to reset your nervous system and remind yourself that you're safe, you're grounded, and that you are okay right now. So I'm going to encourage you to sit comfortably, to silence any notifications you can for the next few minutes, and to gently close your eyes. So place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a slow breath in for 4. We're going to hold it for 2 and release gently for 6. And we're going to do that 3 times together. So place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Breathe in slow for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 2, 1. And release gently for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 2 and release gently. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 2 and release gently for 6. Now I want you to do that one more time on your own, and I want you to feel your feet pressing into the floor. Notice the chair holding you up. You don't have to hold yourself together right now. The ground is doing it for you. So for the next few minutes, I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to imagine a soft, warm light above your head. As you breathe, let that light slowly flow down your body. Relax your forehead, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, and now relax your chest. With each exhale, imagine letting go of one layer of tension or worry. So keep breathing at a gentle pace. Let that light flow through your body. Keep your body relaxed. And with every exhale, feel your body relaxing a little bit more. Just keep breathing for another minute. For any of my nature lovers out there, you can also picture yourself standing barefoot on cool grass. With every inhale you take in calm. With every exhale, you release stress into the earth, where it dissolves into the ground. So you can feel those cool blades between your feet, the breeze on you. Breathe in calm. Exhale that stress into the earth. And as you go through this weekend, and you have moments where you think, this is terrible, just remember, I am safe in this moment. I release what I cannot control, and calm is available to me right now. One of my favorite things is always to remember that we have more control over our minds than we think that we do, and we always have the power to change our behavior. So I invite you to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly open your eyes. Notice the room around you. And remember, the calm you can get in a few moments like this is always available to you. You don't need a long retreat to find it. You just need a few breaths and a pause like this to bring you back. So, on that note, I hope you have a wonderful holiday weekend. I hope you stay calm, stay happy, don't fight with your loved ones, and remember to pause and breathe. Oh, and always, please like the video, follow us, subscribe to these channels, and leave us some comments.